Today is Thursday, July 2nd. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly PPACA webinars. If you are new to the format, we are using these webinars as a way to keep you informed with any changes as much as we can, and also to use it for an open forum. If you have questions, you can either type them in or you can ask them by raising the little hand icon to the right of your screen on the control panel, because we really want to keep you informed, and we feel this is probably the best way to meet, if you will, weekly and discuss the never-ending changes of the PPACA law. So, as with some of our previous webinars, we had guest speakers. And I did ask Karen McDaniel, our Director of Medicare Operations and Compliance. I forever mess up her title. But I have asked her to join us today because I know a lot of you do the under 65 health and also the over 65 Medicare health. So I thought it would be timely to have Karen step in here and talk about some of her upcoming events that you may be interested in registering for. So Karen, without further ado, take it.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, and good morning. Really briefly, there's a couple events coming up for our department. On July 8th, we're going to be having a webinar at 2:30 in the afternoon, and we'll just be going over the tools that are going to be made available to you for this upcoming AEP. It's going to be really a basic review of the website and where you can find our quote engine for our Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplement products. All of the product information pages. Obviously right now, since the product for 2016 isn't available, the information that's going to be on there right now is going to be just 2015 products. But as we get the forms from the carriers, those pages will be updated on a regular basis so you have the most up-to-date information. We'll also be going over how to purchase leads for the upcoming AEP. We work with various vendors, and then we also do get some leads from some of the carriers, so I'll give a brief description of that. And then also who's going to be assisting you during this time frame. Some of you may know I am expecting my first child in September, so I will not be here during the AEP. I'll be here in the beginning to get you guys started, but you'll have a great support staff to help you, and I'll go over who is going to be helping you. The big thing, though, is our Medicare Connection Conference, and that is in Hershey on August 27th. And it was our second annual conference. We had our first one last year. It was a really good success. We have 5 carriers coming this year. We have Geisinger, we have Aetna Coventry, Highmark, Capital Blue Cross, and Gateway Health Plan. They're going to be coming and they're going to be discussing their product for 2015. It's a really great tool for you to be in front of the carriers, ask any of your questions. They're going to go over all of the plans, any compliance things or certifications that may need to be done in order to get you selling for the next enrollment season. Registration for that is now open. If you go to our website and on our Senior Care Products page, and then it's going to be under the 2016 AEP Resources link. And then you just click on register for the conference, and we'll get you signed up. And in a couple weeks, you should probably see the official invitation for it. But like I said, registration is now open. You can go ahead and sign up for it now, and you'll get the confirmation that you're all signed up. Those are my updates, Deb. So if you want to go ahead and go on with the rest of your webinar.
Thanks, Karen. You were coming in and out a little,
okay.
But I think most people got the information, the July 8th 2:30 webinar, as well as the Medicare Connections seminar, which is August 27th. You can go to our homepage and register for both of those events. But again, these are just things that we feel are really important to keep you informed and give you the proper tools, the proper training, and get you in touch with the carriers to hear really what they're doing for 16, so you can be better prepared. So that's really great that Karen and her team are doing that. I plan on doing something very similar for the open enrollment period for the under 65 health. You know, the real challenge, of course, is we don't get the products till, you know, midnight when we can sell, it seems. But, you know, we can at least go over some of the tools that we'll have available and our site as well. So watch for details on that. But thanks, Karen, for joining in. So we'll get it right in. Oh, thanks again. We'll get right into the agenda. Of course, this past week we had some decisions from the Supreme Court of the United States. One was the King versus Burwell case, and essentially Burwell was upheld. The PPACA law was upheld as far as the distribution of the advanced premium tax credits and cost-sharing subsidies through a federally facilitated marketplace. If you recall, the crux of the matter was that in the PPACA language, it made mention of the subsidies being delivered through state marketplaces. Pardon me. So, of course, the Supreme Court looked at the intent of the law, and the intent of the law, as they decided, 6-3, was that the advanced premium tax credit could be distributed through federally facilitated marketplaces and state-based marketplaces. So if you have questions more specific on that, again, you can raise your hand or type them in. The next decision was the same-sex marriage. Of course, this does not affect Pennsylvania. We already have the same-sex marriage rule in place, so it's really business as usual in PA for this SCOTUS decision. Another change, because we as under 65 health producers are ready for all these changes and certainly can adapt well to changes. We've done it the last almost 2 years. We can do it again. Aetna, pardon me, Aetna in 2016 will be changing their product offering. Now, what they're going to do is, of course, Aetna purchased Coventry, but Aetna is rolling out a new program under the Aetna LEAP logo, and Aetna LEAP will be for sale in Pennsylvania in the 5-county Philly area: Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, and Philly. And Health America Coventry will service all the other counties in Pennsylvania in 2016. Nothing is changing for 15 on their Aetna coverage, but as of 12/31 of 2015, their current Aetna coverage is no longer going to be available. Aetna will actually auto-renew their current enrollment onto an Aetna LEAP similar plan, and they're going to be sending letters to the affected members by July 1st. So, of course, they're probably out there now. And what they're saying is that the insured will not have to take any action to be enrolled in the new plan except pay their first premium. And, of course, they always have the option to change to another plan and another carrier, as everyone does. I would just say be mindful of this, be in front of it, because, quite frankly, I just envision in February everyone calling and saying that they didn't renew their plan and they were drafted for an Aetna plan that they don't know what they're getting. So you know how the story goes. So I would just say try to stay in front of it. Contact your Aetna folks and just kind of let them know what's going on, pardon me, in 2016, and make mention, of course, that they can contact you as of 11/1, and you can help them make the best decision for their 1/1/16 enrollment. Again, any questions on that, let me know. Cap Blue Cross sent out a bulletin, actually a number of bulletins, but the most important is that Capital Blue Cross will no longer accept employer payments for individual insurance. If the cash processing department receives a payment from an employer that indicates it's a payment for an individual account of an active employee, the payment will be rejected and returned. If you bump down to the fourth from the bottom bullet where it starts out yesterday, which means 7/1 was the end of the employer pass on payments for individual insurance. There was a bit of a reprieve for applicable large employers that had this practice of paying through directly or through a funding vehicle such as an FSA or Section 105, Section 125. They had a bit of a reprieve, and that has come to an end as of yesterday. So if there are employers out there practicing this by paying for individual insurance, then they right now can stand to get a $100 per day per employee penalty. And of course, that could equal $36,500 per employee. So please reach out to your employer clients and make sure that they are not paying for individual premiums. And if they are, make sure that they understand the repercussions if they continue to do so. So let's bump back up to the Highmark update. I still don't have any information on the submission process for individual applications for 8-1. I do know that it's going to be paper application. I do know that, of course, it's within the special election period, so the special election form is going to also be needed. And what they're telling me is that they will be requiring proof of that qualifying event. As of last week, they were working on the details of what kind of proof they would accept and the process itself. So clearly, we don't have any information yet on that, but stay tuned, and as soon as I know anything, I will let you know. Another thing to be aware of, and we've talked about this, is the 51 to 100 market for groups. They are throwing out the option that they can actually reset their plan as of 10/1. So if a plan renews for 7/1 and it's a 51 to 100, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on my cell phone today. There, and I apologize whoever I hung up on. That's the only way I knew how to stop the ringing. But anyway, if they have a 7/1 renewal for the 51 to 100 market, they can rewrite their plan, the same benefits as of 10/1 of this year. And of course, what that means is of course, the deductible reset, but they have their plan from 10/1 till September 30th of 2016. But more importantly, it gives them the ability to renew again on 10/1 and then have their coverage terminate in conjunction with the ending of the grandmother provision, which is ending October of 2017. Trying to turn that down. I apologize, folks. Okay, the next bullet point, July 1st. Yesterday was the last day to register for Part 2 of the FFM certification. If you recall, for those of you that certified for 14 and for 15, you had to, after you did your certification testing, you had to wait 48 hours and then register on portal.cms.gov. That's Part 2 of the registration. So if you did not do that, which I find hard to believe for anyone that's selling in this marketplace, but if you didn't do it, then unfortunately you can't do that for the balance of 2015. But when the 16 training is released, you can, of course, pick that up and take care of it for 2016. Again, I don't think it affects anyone on this call, but wanted you at least to be informed. So same question I've asked for the last 5 weeks. How can I help you? What do you need to learn more about? Is it tax forms for the large groups, employer requirements for reporting, measurement periods, anything? Let me know, please. I want to be a resource to you, and if I'm not hearing from you, then I don't know what your needs are. So let me know, please. And that's about it. We're going to bring it to an open forum now, and if you have questions, you can type them in or raise your hands. It does look like we do have some questions. Just while you are formulating and typing those questions, reminder that the next webinar, as always, Thursday, July 9th at 9:30. So hopefully you can join in, and we all learn something. That's all I can say. We all learn something from these webinars, including certainly myself. So the questions. Jay says, have a safe and happy 4th of July weekend. And right back at you, Jay, and to all of you as well. Dave says, is Pennsylvania still planning to open their own exchange, or will they drop that? David, thank you so much for asking that question. Actually, I had that on my agenda to talk about, and I forgot. So what's happening is the governor did write a letter to HHS withdrawing their letter that was sent earlier, withdrawing our request to move to a state-based, state-supported base model or a state-based system. So what I did receive from the Pennsylvania Insurance Department is that for 2016, we will be operating as a full FFM state. We're not going to do partnership, we're not doing the state-supported base model, and we're not moving toward a state-based system for 2016. So the same healthcare.gov that we've experienced this year and last year is what we will be working with for 16. Erica says, does this affect all grandfathered plans with Aetna as well? Erica, it does not, but I will get further clarification on that. The grandfathered plans were any plans that were in place prior to the signing of the law, which was March 23rd of 2010. The grandfathering provisions, I do believe, can go ad infinitum and really based on what the carrier decides. At least that's what they told me last year. But I'll check on that and I will follow up, because we all know there is a difference between grandfathered plans and what they're terming grandmothered provisions. Of course, again, the grandfathered plans are the plans that were in place prior to the signing of the law. The grandmothered plans, and that terminology refers to the if you like your plan, you can keep your plan provision, where the president made the allowance for the states to make the decision to extend their non-PPACA plans up until October of 2017. Hopefully that makes sense. But Erica, I'll get you an answer and share that with everyone next week. Tracy says, if we make any application changes, such as income changes on any of the Highmark applications now, will we lose our commission because it changes the effective date on the policy? Tracy, that's a good question, but my understanding is any 8/1 effective dates through 12/31, no comp is paid. But that's really a good question, because essentially it's your plan, you're just making changes to an existing plan. I'll find out that as well. And Georgette says, well, Georgette, I'm not sure if you meant to type in something, but there's no question there. Dave says, does the employer paying for employee penalty apply to groups under 20? It applies to all groups, Dave. Any employer that is paying for individual health insurance is out of compliance as of yesterday. The DOL issued this rule, or reinforced this rule several times, starting with October of 2014, I believe. So yeah, if they're doing it, tell them to stop, no matter what size group. So that looks like all of the questions I have at this point. If you have any others, I'll wait a few minutes, and certainly, hopefully, all of you will have a wonderful holiday weekend. Our office is closed tomorrow. Hopefully, you're taking advantage of the weekend and this reprieve before open election period for Medicare and under 65, and that you enjoy your family and your holiday. Another question did come in before I close. Mike says, anything on HSA contributions from the employer for employees? No. HSA contributions from employer to employees is safe. That's not an issue. So good question, Mike. Thanks for asking. And that's it. That brings us to a close. Again, thanks so much for joining in. I appreciate your partnership and the business that you do choose to write through URL. If you do have any other lines of business and you like what you see here on the health side and you're not currently doing business with us, please reach out to me. We have life markets, annuities, senior products, as you heard from Karen, group health. You know, so again, we work really hard to support you in all of your sales and all of your business opportunities. So if you're not taking advantage of our services, please give me a call and let's see how we can work together. Enjoy your holiday and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.